This is Mark Whitten.
This is Adam MacArthur.
This is Ann Yatko.
Hey everybody, this is Michael Yurchak.
This is Erica Harlicker.
This is Daquan Wilshire.
This is Rico Fajardo, and you're watching.
And you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Set your heart ablaze.
All right, so this is episode 136 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a crazy, almost 3 months for me. The last episode I recorded was the Game of Thrones House of the Dragon review. You can check that out on Facebook. Hopefully by the time when this episode's up, it'll be up on YouTube and podcasting platforms. So it's not like a deep dive review. It's just initial reactions to the finale and just my thoughts on the overall season. But that's not important right now. What's important right now is my guest here, Victor Koo, Mighty Pegasus. He was on the podcast earlier this year when I first moved to Texas, and now he's back on when I moved to a different location now too. So I don't know what it is, Victor. Every time I do an episode with you, I'm moving somewhere. So yeah, thank you for being on the show, dude.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me again. You know, it's been I can't believe it's been that long already.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
You know, I think we've both been just like grinding and hustling so much for our craft. You know, initially when we first spoke, we talked about like how you started and what got you into all the art now. But for this whole year, just 2022, for both of us, really, just going to conventions, meeting artists, meeting celebrities, you know, geeking out about anime, you know, just like so many things that we could talk about. I'm just so excited to have you back on and just that you made time for this because, you know, I wanted to end the year strong, and starting with you, this is a great way to end. But, you know, for fans and listeners, man, like how have you been from when we recorded back at end of February, March around there till now? How have you been?
Oh man, was it February?
I think so.
I was thinking maybe June or something, but man,
no,
February.
It was earlier.
Okay.
It was yeah,
man. Okay, well, man, I've been busy. Obviously, I've been traveling so much. I've been exhausted. I've been taking it easy this past couple months because I didn't have this many shows, so I've been relaxing. So I've been kind of just spending more time with my kids, you know, and stuff like that, trying to catch up on some project that should have been done a long time ago, you know. But yeah, it's been crazy busy, just traveling everywhere, you know. And yeah, just like you said too, you've been busy too. I've been following your adventure. You've been going to convention, doing interviews.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you, man.
No, thank you, dude. Like, you know, you're one of the few that really inspire me to do better. You know, like I said before, you know, having a Hmong brother like do the same shit that I'm trying to do just really it inspires me, like lights my fire, because like, you know, it really shows like for us, I've always said this on the podcast, like you don't have to be, again, a musician or, you know, someone like mainstream to make it as a Hmong creative. You know, we have projects like this, we have passions like this that we can go out and explore. And, you know, just seeing your work, like going to cons, just like you drive the conventions, fly to conventions with all your material, dude. Like I think there was some that you brought your kids with you to some cons too, like to have them have that experience, dude. It's insane, like what this year has brought for you as an artist, man. Like, and I love seeing you work with like you know, I can't name them off the top of my head. It's just like you have like a lot of good artists that you work with and collaborate with. And you know, even on your Instagram, you've had dinner with, like, for example, like Nekomimipunks, I think. You've had dinner with him. Yeah, I met him. I met him back at Fan Expo Dallas, dude. Like he was really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like it's just cool to see you like be really like you know, friends and hang out with these artists, man. Like it's something that when I see that, I'm like, man, like that is Victor's living like the artist dream right now. Like it doesn't get any better than that, at least from what I see, you know. And for me, just like doing the podcast stuff, you know, just talking to artists and voice actors and all that, it's really cool to just see that what this year has brought for both of us. I know you had some cons in Texas too, which unfortunately we weren't able to meet because when you came to Anime Matsuri in Houston, right? I was at my sister's wedding, so I couldn't meet you there. And then I know you were gunning for Anime Frontier too, and I was too. But you know, things happened, we couldn't meet there. So hopefully next year we can actually meet in person at a con, dude. You should definitely go for a con. Yeah, for sure.
It's funny. I actually showed up last weekend for Anime Frontier. I was hoping they pull me out the waiting list last minute, so I just went ahead and went to my sister's house just to chill and wait and see if they call me. They never did, but it's okay. There's always next year,
Yeah.
So it's all right.
The things you've done, dude. Like, has there anything been like that stuck out for you this year, just during your travels, or just as you're meeting new people and like just sharing your
Yeah.
art with folks?
It's the thing that really like stuck out with me was actually all the things I got to see during my travel. I remember those even more than my convention, because it's just such an opportunity. Just I drove everywhere. I made every stop I could, just to see like some landmark and stuff like that. And I think that was really the most fun I had during convention. Just that opportunity just to travel. I'm meeting all these amazing artists like Nekomi. I've been meaning to meet him for such a long time, and I finally did. And we've been following each other. So I think those two are the big things. Just meeting artists I've been wanting to meet, like Aaron Pinky as well. Chris Art.
He's so good.
Those moments were the best moment of the year, and just traveling. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think traveling, seeing you travel, it's just really cool to see that you're able to still, I guess, not worry. I know like, as an artist financially, it's been it sometimes it is tough when you don't break even, because like one of my cousins, Art by Kuki, he just started having exhibitors booth this year too. He started trying, and I see the work that he puts in just as a starting artist. Like you're not going to break even all the time. And how does that, I mean, just for this year, dude, like when you see yourself just going to these big events and sometimes you don't break even, what goes to your head?
It is what it is. Sometimes, you just got to accept it. The first time I did convention and I didn't make, like I didn't break even or make my money back or anything. I took it really too hard, So I learned over the years to just, it is what it is. Just don't take it so much too hard. There's gonna be some good cons and some bad cons. So when that happened, you just have to hey, think about all the positive that you did at the show. Because one thing for sure is you're always gonna have your when you show up at a convention, you're already there to exhibit your artwork. So you're already showing up. You're having your art being exposed to a lot of fans, and to in another state and city that you haven't been to. So that's one thing that's that you have to remember, that and always try to come back the following year, because people will remember. So just I guess I don't know if that's a good advice, but I think just don't take it too seriously. It's okay. It happened. It takes time to build up your fan base and make your money, and things like that. You just gotta keep pushing.
No, that's some great advice, because even for me, like applying for press passes and stuff like that, like I got a slight taste of that. At least with press passes, I don't have to pay for anything. I'm just asking for approval so I can get a free pass for that weekend.
Nice.
All I had to do is just cover the event. And there was like 1 or 2 events that I wanted to go to or got approved for. Even when I couldn't go, it kind of stung. Like there was this one event. Excuse me. Earlier this year, there was this one event that I applied for in the fall, and I went there before, and I thought I could get in again just to try to cover that weekend, but I wasn't approved of it, and that really stunk, man. Like just because I look at like I don't want to compare, but I look at some of the other people with press passes, and I'm just like, dude, I'm doing something better or just as good as these people, and it just like when you get that, like, especially when you get that email like, oh man, we're sorry, we can't, you're not approved, or like you weren't accepted. It just that I had to learn that this year to kind of like take my shots, dude. Like and what you said, man, just kind of like let it go and just wait for the following event. Like that's what I had to learn this year as someone who's going for press and media, and let alone that's, like I said, seeing exhibitors or artist alley when you actually pay for a table, because some events only like they want you to put like a down payment, and then if you don't get approved, you got to wait for that to get refunded. So I thought
I hate those.
There's some events that did that, and I was like, yo, I that's not really worth it, man.
It's I hate those shows. I hate those shows that do that, because sometimes you'd be waiting for 8 months, and you're already down half, the payment, and you just find out like maybe a month before the show that you haven't made it, and then it takes them also forever to pay you back. So it's like, so you've just been in the hole for that show for, waiting for 9 months, and just to find out you actually didn't get accepted. So it kind of sucks. But yeah, you don't take it too much to heart. Don't think too much about it.
Was there anything that you did this year, like not so much travels wise, but art wise? I know like you've been taking photos of your customers and sharing them on Instagram and on Twitter. What was there an art piece that you had that you didn't think would sell or like attract fans?
Surprisingly, this year I sold my blood angel, my death angel, the most this year. That was very unexpected. It started very early this year, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just this convention. They like this type of art, and throughout the year, I've noticed that that's been like one of my best seller. Like in every convention, like people really like it, especially Anime Matsuri. At Anime Matsuri, I almost sold out of the small print of my blood angel. Yeah, so yeah, it's been it's crazy sometimes, because I had that one done like a year or two ago, and sometimes you just never know, man. Like an art piece that you've done a year or two ago, and people just start buying it, out of nowhere. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But,
do you think like customers were more? Because I know like when we spoke before, like your art style is more like a good mix of comic book style and a little bit of anime, since you started with like anime style first. I guess the customers that you had, or like the traction that you get from your artwork, do you notice that do they draw more towards one or the other, or do they kind of just like, do you see like they look at your Justice League ones first and then go into like your anime stuff? Do you notice like which ones kind of stick out to your customers?
Yeah. So when I go to anime convention, they love all the anime stuff. It's very like this year, for example, Demon Slayer sold very well. And then I noticed Jujutsu Kaisen sold very well as well, but I didn't have any, because a lot of people came at every show. A lot of fan came and asked me for any Jujutsu Kaisen, artwork. So people, when they show up to a convention, they already know what they're looking for, So
Yeah.
So for sure, it has to do with what anime it's top at the moment, and yeah, just whatever the fans are into. So Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen were my very in demand this year for sure. And then as far as like the style, I noticed that people like to go for the female characters a lot. Because even like my one of my original like Scarlet Fire character, people don't know who she is, but they really like her. So they always go for that. Like they always want to buy that one. And like as compared to like a Superman, for example, I can have Superman next to it, and they'll go for that one instead, because people like the female, appeal. So that's one thing I noticed too. So I always try to have my this kind of character, put up front, that way, if people have interest, they can see it right away, So yeah, that's one thing I noticed.
Yeah, you might have to start drawing more female characters.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, because I like to draw a lot of guys because I like muscle, but I don't draw a lot of females. So I was thinking about maybe I should draw more girls.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of start off with like some of the more mainstream ones, like usually like Android 18 usually does okay, or like some of the more, like if you follow all like the waifus from like Genshin Impact or like like you said, Jujutsu Kaisen was a big one. That one was, even to the cons I went to, Jujutsu Kaisen was a big one, definitely because of the movie too. Like I'm at fault. I don't think it's in sight, but my artwork, I have a character, like just character posters. Like I bought like Yuji, Yuta, Megumi, Maki, Nobara. Like you can kind of see up here on my shelf here. It's not too clear, but I have like Nendroids of Maki and Nobara. So like those were big hits too, and especially like when you see voice actors of those animes at conventions, people want to get that stuff signed. I saw people like buy artwork and like and then right when they get it, they go to the booth and like, hey, sign this, And so maybe that's something that could work for you too, because I think that's what's really been helping expose artists, especially on Twitter, when anime voice actors, or more so the English dub actors, when they see the stuff that they like, and then they try to get that commission and like split costs or whatever. Yeah, but I think that's the big move. I think you could easily do that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Actually, that's a good point that you brought up. For example, when I was at Planet Comic Con, there was a voiceover for Green Lantern. Phil Lamar, and my Green Lantern out of nowhere just sold very well.
Yeah.
So you're right. Depending on where the celebrities or voice actor go, people are gonna look for that special piece of art to have it signed. So it's definitely amazing. So yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty jealous you met Phil Lamar, dude. Like, he's Green Lantern,
Yeah.
Samurai Jack, dude. Like, did you get anything
So
signed
many
from him?
characters. Yeah, I got one of my last shiny Green Lantern. I had it signed by him, and I gave him another one for him too.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah,
That is so cool.
So
And
yeah,
speaking of like, and speaking of that too, like you met Simu Liu, right? Shang.
Yeah, I met Simu Liu. Yeah, I met him at Awesome Con in Washington D.C. It was amazing, man. He had a lot of people. I think he was one of the 2 celebrities that had a huge line. Like there were 2 biggest one, and the line were like long every day. And I went to see him on Sunday when it was kind of slow, and I drew a little funny portrait of him as Jung from his. I don't know if you watch his Netflix show.
I don't think so.
He had
didn't know.
Yeah, he had a funny Netflix show, and he goes as Jung, and so I drew a portrait of him, half of Jung and half of the Shang-Chi. So I got to meet him, and super nice guy. He's very tall. I actually didn't know. I didn't realize how tall he was until I met him. I was like, man, I felt super short next to him. And very nice guy, very energetic. Funny. I just didn't have enough time to talk with him. It was like, as soon as it was my turn, people were just like directing me, hey,
right,
come take a picture really quick. It's done. I got to say thank you, and told him a quick story, gave him my gift, and that's it. It's like 10 seconds, super short.
Does he look like a superhero though? Like in person? Do you think does he look like one?
To me, he always looked like his character from Netflix, because I've known him before Shang-Chi.
Right.
So to me, I always look at him as the funny guy from Netflix. So to me, it's funny. Like, I don't see him as a superhero. I just see him as Jung. He's like a car sailor.
Yeah. I was familiar with his work because he did some Wong Fu skits on YouTube and stuff. So like I've seen him around, but like just to see how fast he blew up because of Shang-Chi and all the MCU stuff. Like, it was really cool just to see that people were excited to just meet this guy, and like to see him go from like just skits on the internet to mainstream media. And then you get to meet him. That's just really cool to kind of like see all that come full circle. But you like, just to continue on with this topic, like you've met, as of we've met a lot of just celebrities or influencers. Was there, besides Simu Liu and Phil Lamar, like was there anyone else that you met that I guess like whether it's inspired your artwork or someone that you were a fan of, like that you got to meet this year, like kind of made you geek out at all?
No, I didn't get that much time during each of my convention to go out there and meet people. I was lucky to go see Phil Lamar and Simu Liu because I had my cousin with me and my friend. I got to meet Annie Mia, recently. Finally, she was at one of the show that you told me before, and then I just didn't get a chance to go walk to her table. But this past convention at in Twin Cities, I got to meet her. So that's another amazing, experience.
Yeah, I was very. If you follow me and Victor on like Twitter or on Instagram, like I'll tag Twitter Victor on like on some posts that she's done, and it just as a fanboy, I was just like, damn, he really got to meet, because I only got to meet her once, and then I had her on the podcast. So like seeing how cool it was, like I think what made me jealous was like when you were like, Ricky, she came to my table, she bought something, and you took the selfie with her. I was like, oh my god, dude! Like, I was so fucking jealous, bro. I'm like, damn, like she came to your table. Like you didn't have to go to
her. It was so funny, man, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell Ricky, I'm gonna go right now to her table, and like maybe like 30 minutes after, like I was thinking that, she just showed up because I remember looking at her Twitter schedule, and she said that she was going to be on lunch around the time I was like, still at my table. So I was like, okay, I'll just go in 30 minutes or something, right? So I just kind of waited, and all of a sudden, I just see her walking, and I'm like, hey, you're Anemia. So I just started talking with her, and she was super cool, man. She said she had a lot of time right now because she finished lunch early. So she just, talked for a bit. She was super nice. Look at my art, and then so it was super cool, man. Like, but I had to. I went back to a table later on that day. I told her, I was gonna buy something. I was planning on buying something and talk to her more because she writes. She's a writer, and she also is a cosplayer. So it's very inspiring also from the aspect because she's a creator. So it's amazing, just to pick her brain, just to talk with her. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that too, like I think she just got confirmed to do like a one shot for Red Sonja. And she's done like some of the was it Betty something, and one of the Archie characters.
Yeah.
Like she did some writing for that, and we spoke about this before too, like just saying if you can try to do covers for them. Like I think that's a great way for exposure when you meet people who are starting up with writing comics, and like to do like variant covers, or to just do, or to even if they hire you to do an actual cover for them. So I'm hoping you get that shot, bro. Like that gotta be really cool.
Yeah, that's another thing when you meet these people, like creators alike, and you just stay connected, So hopefully we'll connect again, through social media, and maybe she wants me to do some work, we haven't really spoken about that, but I wanted to ask her, hey, if she would be interested, because she kind of saw my art, and so she saw it firsthand, so she knows, my style and all that. So hopefully, there'll be a chance one day, but I don't want to just bring that up like that. I want it to be very genuine, So hopefully we stay connected.
Let me draw a cover for you.
yeah. I don't want to be that guy, but she's a great person, So that's why, like, I hope we stay connected and I get to meet her again, and maybe something in the future. We'll see.
That's even more of an incentive, really, like for you to draw like characters that you don't really draw, like Red Sonja. A lot of people draw her, but sometimes people don't even like read her comics. They just know the character. So I think that'll be good for you too, just to kind of like dip your experience into like to something new. Like touching characters that aren't what you really draw, and then kind of like give them your own twist. I think that'd be it is a bit of a challenge, I guess, as an artist, but it does keep you on your toes to kind of draw characters that you're not familiar with.
Right. Yeah. I think it's very exciting to take on a challenge like that for comic book cover, or just even a special commission. Like if somebody want me to draw like a character I've never drawn before, and just put my own twist into it. I think it's just amazing. It's just like it's just a way to explore your artistic freedom. Hey, what can I do to make this character more my style or different? So it's cool.
Did you get any requests at all when you did commissions at the table? Like, did anyone request you to draw characters?
Yeah, I did a Moon Knight, and I
nice.
did a Eren from Attack on Titan.
Really? I don't think I saw that one. I saw the Moon Knight one.
Post it. I didn't post it for a reason. It was actually pretty interesting. It was a special commission, very private, and she wanted to keep it private, so that's why I didn't share it. But yeah, it was fun. I've never drawn him before. Yeah, I can tell you afterwards. But yeah, it was interesting, and it was fun to do, and it kind of opened my eyes into a different world. I'll tell you more later, probably privately.
Yeah.
We'll keep it private
for your customer.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
dude, like I think that is like, just because even I know you follow Rachta too. Like she's always like doing commissions, or like she accepts commissions before she gets to the convention, and people like already booked those slots, and so like she'll like post up her commissions and share it when she's at certain events. I guess for you, man, when you were doing your commissions for people, did you feel like it was like a crunch thing, like you had to like get it done at a certain time, or Or
Yeah.
did you feel like it was more you kind of not so much take your time, but you had more, I guess, more time than you should to draw out those characters?
Yeah, I always tell people that want a commission from me that if it's okay for them to come back the next day to pick it up, because usually during convention I'm in selling mode, so I'm always like standing up, talking to people, trying to engage, have them come to my table, and if they have any question I answer. I don't really like sitting down and having my head down and drawing while people are walking on my table, because uh engaging to the customer is like half the sale, most of the time, so uh and a lot of the customers, they're very shy too, so if they see you
Yeah.
drawing, a lot of time they don't want to ask you anything, so you might be missing on some sale. So yeah, I always ask people if they're comfortable to come back the next day. If they only there for a day pass, then that's when I draw it on the spot, as fast as I can. uh but really, I don't like to rush on it, because you really kind of, I really want to make sure that my artwork stands out the way I want, not something like quick and rush, because I want my quality to be remembered, and that way, if the customer come back or tell us someone else, they know that the quality the quality that they're gonna get, they know what to expect. So so I don't really like to take commission and be like, hey, come back in 1 hour. I don't really do that.
Right.
So yeah. So usually I take about 4 or 5 a day. Then I draw everything at night, and the next day I meet with the customers again.
The Moon Knight
Yeah.
commission you did, that was on a comic book cover, right? The blank ones, was that right?
No, that was just on a regular 11x14. Yeah.
Okay.
Paper. Yeah.
Have you received any like blank covers to draw on?
I have done a Wolverine in the past. I have done a Batman that I never shared for a customer, and I've done 2 recently of what was it, Red Phoenix,
Oh,
and
nice.
the Batman Who Laughs. But those I did for fun because I had the blank comic book cover, and so nobody bought them yet. But I did those recently just for fun. That's about it. I never, yeah. So just about 4 comic book, cover, and I haven't had this many.
Yeah, I think that's something you should,
Yeah.
since you're trying to get into doing covers, see, like that'd be a good like experience to kind of just to know, like when you do draw a comic book cover, whether it's digital or physical, like you can kind of get like I guess the ratio right, so that way when you do draw it for whether it's DC or Marvel or Image Comics, like you know what you're doing. I think, and just seeing, I love seeing artists like get commissioned or do variants for comic book covers, because like they all have their own take on certain characters. Like
Yeah.
Batman Who Laughs is a big one, and then
Yeah.
have you heard of the Spawn versus Batman series that's coming out? I think they
Yeah.
probably dropped already.
Yes.
But like even Todd McFarlane had his own take on Batman, and you just see everyone else, all the other variant covers have the various artists draw like their takes on just Spawn, Batman, like different characters. But yeah, dude, I like I said, I'm just saying, I think you could actually do that stuff. I think it'll be really cool to see that.
Yeah, actually, I thought about that, but nobody asked me to do it yet. So, but I saw that Spawn versus Batman, and man, it looks really good, man. I'm excited for that. I don't know if it already dropped, but I will definitely go and buy it,
Yeah.
check out, Yeah.
I know. I think it's like a 6 or 12 issue series. I can't really say for sure. I've just seen the story, like people promoting it. I don't know if it's how long it's gonna run for, but it does look pretty good. Just that first cover already, like there was it's kind of like the two, I guess you could say mirror, because like there's one where it's Spawn on the cover, and then the other one is Batman on the cover, but it's like the same pose. So like that's just really, like, as a collector, that's really cool to have.
Yeah, man, that's I'm excited to read it too.
So like when going to I guess just from all your travels and everything, man, like you said you had your cousin or a friend help you. Were they with you throughout the whole time, or were you mostly by yourself?
I was mostly by myself. It was very rarely when I know someone. Like in DC, my cousin was there, so he came and helped me. And sometime at convention, if I'm a table right next to a friend, an artist friend that I know. Sometimes they just help me in cover, so I can just go around and get some autograph and meet people. But it's very rare. A lot of time I always I'm always next to someone new. Someone I don't know, so it's kind of hard. And I always travel by myself, so it makes it very tough to to just be like flexible at shows.
Like I said before, like my cousin that just started selling, like
Mhm.
I did some exhibitor. I helped him out too at some conventions, and then we have another friend, JJ. Did you meet JJ at Anime Matsuri?
Uh,
She did
what's it, what does it?
Onigiri Graphics.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. I met her. Um, we talked for a while. I forgot what we talked about. It was super cool because I remember we mentioned you, and yeah, we talked, and she lives in Dallas too. I think she told me, and
yeah.
so she went down to Houston, and so yeah, we got to talk. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, I got to meet her. It was super cool. Um, I think she had a really good show, if I remember. I think it was good. Anime Matsuri was good too for me. So and then I saw her when we left, and that was about it. So I didn't get to talk too much after that, but yeah, I got to meet her. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I did some I helped her out with her booth too when she was that was like she was how I got my first like exhibitor experience. Like we were at Kamea Con. That's the first time I got to be behind the table and like try to help sell. And earlier you mentioned like trying to connect with customers. It is tough because like some customers, like even though when you reach out to them like, hey, how are you doing, like they'll kind of like shy away, and then
Yeah.
versus like there's some customers that'll look at your stuff and then like they'll walk off. So
Right.
it's so hard to gauge how
Yeah.
to approach them, but
Mhm.
from my like from I'm when I'm like in con mode, I'm very outgoing. I'm usually not that outgoing like in person, but then when they'll come look at they'll look at JJ's like stickers
Mhm.
or her buttons. I'm like, do you see anything you like? There's some deals going on. Like
Yeah.
I'll just say something simple like that, like, and then it still
Yeah.
scare
Yeah.
off the person. I'm like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
like, man, this is tough. Like I can't just you
Yeah.
can't just like come off like that. Like I had to learn like how to like engage
Exactly.
with the audience or whoever was coming.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned it because that's exactly how it is. But uh, you just have to learn from that and find out who's who, how they react from the way they move or the gesture, and then you just kind of step back when needed. And but yeah, man, it's hard, but yeah, that's the con life, behind the table. That's what we experience, so yeah.
Have you thought about like selling other, I guess, merch besides just the prints?
Yeah.
I know like people are selling like stickers or buttons and bookmarks and stuff like that. Like, is that something you've considered?
Yeah. So this year I'm actually very considering for next year actually I'm considering doing like a like maybe some 4-inch size sticker. The reason why is because I've been talking to a lot of my artist friends, and we all noticed that convention has been raising the price a lot, right? So tables cost a lot, and usually prints. A lot of time, like talking to customers, they tell me that, like especially kids at anime convention, they don't have a lot of money, so they like to buy a lot of the smaller stuff. You know what I mean? So they all I have right now is a big print, right, 11 by 17 and larger poster. So I don't have anything small for that for them, for these customers. But they always come to my table like, hey, do you have this Rengoku as just a sticker or like a bookmark? And I'm starting to think, like maybe I should start doing that because uh the artists that have them, they sell them for about $5 to $10 each, and it's like, wow, that's a good deal, and you can print a lot of them. So from the artist's point of view, like, yeah, I'm really thinking about doing that. I have a lot of you know uh, artwork that people has asked me to just do it in smaller size.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm thinking about doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is something good to consider. Even like my
Yeah.
cousin that was selling, like he's doing stickers. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
doing buttons, but he did do some stickers, and like I've noticed like helping him out at his table, like people will look at like
Mhm.
like you said, not a lot of folks want to spend that kind of money because
Yeah,
there's so much stuff there. You know, you don't want to spend a lot just to get a little. So they want to pick at the little things. They'll look at like again
Right.
stickers or your bookmarks or your buttons, and then like they'll try to see if that's when they ask like, hey, do you have this like in a sticker form? Or, like because like sometimes you'll have like a print that's not like small or anything like that. So they'll ask for that, and I from my experience, I've just seeing that I'm like, yo, like it's. I mean, it does kind of suck though when it does hit and miss because like you'll spend some money on some stickers that won't sell. The next now you have all this inventory that's like in the back. Like, I think that's the thing that sucks. Is like when you don't sell that stuff, it's just collecting dust.
It's just sit there. Yeah, it's a big risk. But like I said, like I think this year because they raised everything, a lot of people didn't see the value, I guess, or the need to buy a print for $20 or $25 when all they have is a small budget of $100. So if a person has a budget of $100, they can't buy this many prints, so they rather buy a bunch of smaller stuff. So and then how money spreads at convention for artists, and we already spend a lot of money on our table to show up there. It's tough for artists to make the money back. So it's a risk to take to have more option for the customer, but also less in return. But at least somehow you make some sort of income.
At least you can try to sell something.
Right. So it's a tough thing, to decide. But yeah.
If you want to start your own podcast like Spoiler Force, then sign up with Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout has helped hundreds of thousands of users like me to begin their podcasting journey. With easy-to-use tools, you can effectively get your podcast into different platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and more. You can view your stats, create audio clips, and even have your own podcasting website. Buzzsprout offers ideas, tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you improve your podcast. Follow the link below, and once you sign up, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card. This will let Buzzsprout know that I sent you and will also support Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want a simpler way to record both video and audio for your podcast, then sign up with StreamYard. StreamYard is the perfect program to create podcasts, host live streams, and even do video calls. There are many tools that can help you create and design your own personal studio. You can screen share, read live comments, and stream to different destinations like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also download your video and audio once you're done with your recording session. Follow the link below, and once you sign up with the basic or pro plan, you'll earn a $10 credit to use for StreamYard. Happy podcasting. Just seeing how how crazy conventions have gotten this year, like just paying attention to the small ones to all like the big ones. Like I guess even with COVID protocols, like people just want to go to these events again just to feel some sort of normalcy. I think after like what's happened in 2020 and 2021, where some conventions that people were waiting for had to I guess set for the following year, which is this year. So like everyone came through this year. Like there's so many big things that's happened, but there's also like a lot of big vendors too. That's the thing. Like I know are you familiar with Ozzy Oz the Virus? He does like anime style artwork.
I think I follow him too. Yeah.
So like Ozzy's really cool.
I got t-shirt, right?
Yeah, I have the Itachi t-shirt that he did. It's really cool seeing him like go to work at that kind of stuff too, because Ozzy is like he'll work with like other printing companies. I want to say there are other like printing companies or like they assist in that, and like they'll have like a huge corner of the con, just all them. Like you kind of just see that, and so like I saw that firsthand at KamehaCon when that's when I first met him. Like he had the whole back corner to himself, like, and then just him and like the other companies that helped sponsor him, and like he got to sell all his merch, his shirts, his prints, and all that. So I think it's that's what's also like really tough as just as an artist like you not saying like what they're doing is bad. It's just when you see that, like it kind of you're fighting against that, because like when they draw in that kind of influx of just customers that come through, sometimes they don't even look at your stuff. They're focused on like the big stuff. I think that's what made it really tough for a lot of artists too.
Yeah, you brought up a great point, man. And it is what it is. It's like it's competition at the end of the day. I think we talked about it on the last podcast. It is what it is. It's nothing personal, but it is competition. Every vendor out there are trying to make their money, and sometimes those big displays, those big vendors that have cool, flashy stuff, sometimes they just happen to catch the eyes better, and people spend their money there first, and then you don't have much know for yourself, so it is what it is, and That's tough. It is very tough, man.
I know you've been working on some new stuff too. I think the one I followed the most was your Smash Brothers collage that you were
Yeah.
doing. Is that still a work in
Oh
progress
man.
right now?
Man, it's still a work in progress.
Okay.
It shouldn't have taken me this long. I started early this year, and I still haven't finished it due to me traveling all the time
Right.
and then being exhausted. Um, but I'm working on it every day right now, slowly. Uh, so yeah, hopefully it'll be done before February next year because February I will be in a Level Up Expo in Vegas, and I want to showcase it there for the first time. So I hope I finish it. Especially because it's a video game convention.
Yeah,
So,
dude, that's what I'm excited for.
yeah.
Like that of your
Mhm.
artwork, like just to see that collage of Smash Brothers. Because now, like, I
Yeah.
think when you were doing it, I think it was either right after they announced Sora. Was it after they announced Sora too? Right? Like, was it before or after that?
It was it's right after they announced him because I wanted to wait until there were no more, so I can
Yeah.
add all of them. Yeah, so it was right after, and when was that? Was that like March?
I forgot, dude. Like it was earlier this
Yeah,
year,
yeah, it's
but like when
earlier
they,
this year. Yeah,
but just like I remember like when you did like start when
Mhm.
you did started working on it, I was like, it's gonna be crazy because you did say you were gonna have every
Yeah.
character on there.
Mhm.
So Sora being like the final character for Smash Brothers, like that just like that's like bam, you gotta crunch that now,
Yeah.
man. Now you gotta
Yeah.
go and add all those characters. And I like what you've done though. Like you're
Mhm.
showing like piece by piece or like individual characters.
Right.
You're all like you're lining them up in very different ways too. Like you start off like with the Mario characters and then the
Mhm.
DK characters, the Fire
Yeah.
Emblem characters. So I think that was really cool that you were showcasing that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I really hope it works well. Um, and my other plan with that one is every character I'm gonna save them on a separate layer because I want to use them as a sticker, like we talked about. That's another thing that I plan in my head. It's gonna be super high quality each character. It's gonna be separate. That way I can just like move it as I will. And so yeah, so I'm very excited, but I really got to get on it and finish it. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. Very very excited.
That is something I like I said, I can't wait to see that and not
Mhm.
and with this, especially with the stickers, that'd be really cool too. Like just they'll
Yeah,
just buy their favorite characters and like put it wherever they want and whatnot.
yeah,
No, recently you also did excuse me, you also did a competition. You gave away the Snyder Cut thing. What
that's
was
right.
it?
Yeah, so every year I do this for the anniversary on
Oh,
November
okay.
17th. Yeah, so I always do a giveaway, because this I know there's a lot of people out there who can't afford uh, to buy the poster, who never get the chance to meet me. So I just I make sure that I pick a lucky one, and whether it's in the U.S. or international. So I did that recently in November, and it was fun. I think the person was in Chile, and so yeah, so it's amazing, to just know that I have some fans out there outside the country. It's just amazing to know that. So I always give them an opportunity, always give back to the fan because I wouldn't be where I am without them. So that's very important for me. Uh, so yeah,
Is that something you want to do though? Like I'm pretty sure you do, but like in the
right,
future where let's just say like Puerto Rico Comic Con or like a Singapore
yeah,
Comic Con like invites you to go to their
yes.
event, like is that something you would take up on?
Yes, yes. The very actually talked to my friend before because I want to go back to France and do a convention with that because since I already know the language, I can just go there and like meet some old friend, and have a table over there. So I'm hoping if that I travel internationally uh, and do that. Eventually that's what I want to do. France was probably is probably one of the first destination I want to go if I do. Uh, so yeah, yeah, for sure. That's on the list. Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Hmm.
I know you can speak French, but on Facebook when you type in French to your French friends,
Uh,
like it caught me off guard. Like, yo, Victor can write in French too. Like that is crazy because I took French class like once or twice, or I think once in my senior year of high school, and I only know like the basics of the basics, not even like just simple
mhm.
greetings, but like and then on top of that, do you speak Hmong pretty fluent as well, or no?
No, I speak like a little bit of Hmong, not too good. I speak Green, and
Okay.
so a lot of time when I speak Green, the Hmong white they don't really understand some words, so I have to tell them it's because I'm Green, So I have to tell them like they understand what it means, but they just never hear the words of the Green sometimes. So they always
Does it get
like,
hard
look
though?
at
Like,
me
I
a little
mean,
weird.
especially
Yeah,
speaking French, because like I can hear
Yeah.
your French accent when you speak Hmong with a French accent. Is that pretty? Is that pretty tough? Like for folks to understand.
I think is I think I don't know if I have an accent when I speak Hmong. You'll have to tell me, if you if you hear it. I have to say something to you in Hmong, and maybe you can tell me if you hear an accent. But I never thought about it that way. I know my accent is strong in English, but in Hmong I never thought about it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
You'll have to tell me.
Yeah, my American accent's pretty strong when I speak Hmong. Like that's why like I've been listening to a lot of more Hmong
Really?
music and like trying to just kind of brush up on my Hmong, because like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll speak to like some OGs and stuff, and
Mm.
like they could tell like I'm not that great at speaking Hmong just by how I speak to them. Like I understand them, I just I can't speak it that well. And so, but I mean, it doesn't really help living here in Texas because like all my cousins are very like Americanized, so they don't really speak Hmong that much. And the only time I ever do speak Hmong is with their parents. So like, it kind of, I don't know. It just like it's weird, just coming from the Midwest, coming down here to Texas, and it's been a big like transition from being not so much in the Hmong scene, but being around a lot of Hmong folks, and then coming down here to where it's a lot more diverse, like with different Asian cultures and like even Hispanic cultures here. So like we have a friend here. He's one of my friends, my cousin's softball buddies, and so we dig on each other because he's Hispanic, but he grew up like really white. Like he's a fifth gen. He's a fifth gen Mexican descent. So like I pick on him because I was like, yeah, so you know nothing about your culture then. He goes, yeah, but neither do you. It's like, so we just get at each other about that.
That's funny. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel, man. Yeah, my Hmong is not great, man. It's not strong at all. So you probably laugh if you hear it too.
Initially, but I probably will. But I am very interested in hearing to see if you do have a French accent while speaking Hmong Green. I mean, when you were at Twin Cities Comic Con, was there a lot of Hmong folks up there too?
Yeah. There was a lot of Hmong customers that walked by. There's the Hmong community here. I see a lot of Hmong kids going to convention, like Anime Detour earlier this year. There was a lot of Hmong kids. What's another show I did before? Anime Minneapolis, Metacon here in Minnesota as well. I always see a lot of Hmong people. So yeah, there are Hmong people that show up. This year, especially at Twin Cities Con, I think Twin Cities Con was the first year where the first convention where Hmong artists applied to become artists. So at Twin Cities Con, there was a lot of Hmong artists tabling next to me, and I was very happy to see them because I know them, and so it was super cool to see them and finally try to do bigger cons, because a lot of them I know do a lot of just Hmong event, smaller Hmong event, and I always tell them, man, your art is amazing, just try it. Like I always tell people, man, if you don't like it, you don't like it. At least you try and you know it, Or if you fail, at least you find out, So I was very happy to see them showing up at a comic convention, and so yeah, it was great. It was great to see that. Yeah,
I like hearing that, man, because like like we said before, like you and even Stan, another Hmong artist from Michigan, like I feel like you both are like some of the trendsetters for that, man. Like having Hmong artists kind of break out of the small community into like a bigger, like to like a more diverse community, because there's so many good, like I said, there's so many good Hmong artists out there who just don't know how to do this, so like when they see you come out and like go to shows or go to like do all your travels, like, hey man, like if Victor can do that, then I can, what, it doesn't hurt for me to try to do that, but speaking about Hmong artists, dude, there was one artist you put me on this year that I'm like not obsessed with, but I love her artwork and Ying's art.
Yeah, she's amazing, man. Oh my god,
bro! I saw her the Zhongli print you bought that, and then like the Rika and Utah print. I was like, man, I don't know if she was at Anime Frontier or not, because I looked at the artist list and there was someone named Ying's art, but I was like, but there was no links, so I'm like, is that the Ying's art that Victor met, or is that someone else called Ying's art? I didn't know, because I was gonna go, but sadly my dog passed away during the
Yeah,
weekend
that's
of
right.
Anime Frontier,
Yeah.
so I couldn't go. But I was like, damn, it was like I was like, there's no way that's the same Ying's art that Victor's talking about. Because if she was there, I would have dropped money just buying her prints. I was like, yo, like her stuff is good.
Yeah, she is amazing, man. I'm telling you, you gotta meet her when you get the chance, and just to look at her art, in your hand. So much more amazing. Super cool person. I hope I get to meet her again. Eventually, I will. We'll do convention all around, so I'm sure I'll meet her again. But it's just so cool to see someone, like a Hmong person, out there just doing it. I think she's the one that has the most following I've ever met as far as Hmong artists,
Yeah,
I've seen.
her
She's
Twitter's got like
amazing.
almost 150k
Yeah.
followers on Twitter, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
I-
crazy.
like if you look at her stuff, you wouldn't even think like she was Hmong.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
unless you
yeah.
meet her, like if you just like
Right.
based off her artwork, like you'd think she'd be like Chinese or like Korean or something. But I did send an email to her, so hopefully she does respond. Try to at least nudge her my way too, Victor. I want to have her on my podcast, dude. Like,
Yeah.
because like her artwork. I'm not kidding, dude. Like anyone who's listening
You
now,
have.
go check out Ying's art.
Mhm.
I'll have her link in the show notes. But she is legit, man. I think like
Amazing.
seeing someone do that kind of style of artwork, especially like watercolors. You don't see, or at least for me, I don't
Yeah.
see a lot of Hmong folks playing with watercolors like that. Usually, it's
Mhm.
always like very hand drawn, traditional art styles. So
Right.
to see her style do that, and man, it's so cool just to see that.
Yeah, you have to have her on your show, man. I know she travels a lot, so hopefully she'll get some time and do a podcast with you. But yeah, amazing artist, man.
And honestly, Victor, it's because of that, like why I'm trying to like reach out to more artists now than like voice actors or influencers. I think like going to conventions this year for me, like after meeting, just a good handful of voice actors and having them on my show, it is a lot harder getting them on the podcast versus like getting an artist on the show. Because like a lot of artists are, not saying like one's better than the other, but like at least an artist that I reach out to will be like, really, you want me on the show? Versus like a voice actor would be like, oh, I don't know, it depends, and then like they just
Yeah.
ghost me, and I've had that a lot this year where like some voice actors will
Really?
be like, yeah, like some
Huh.
voice actors would respond back and they'll be like, oh, hey, thank you for your interest, we will consider this, and then like just ghost and like no response,
wow.
nothing. But then like when I reach out to like we're pretty cool, so I knew you would respond. Like when I reach out to some other artists I'm trying to get to, at least for this month and maybe next month, like some of them will reply quick and they'll be like, hey, like really, you want me on the show? Like I love to talk about my artwork and all that stuff. So like I think for me, I'm at least for my podcast now, I think I want to kind of gear towards that now that I
Right.
dip my foot into like the exhibitor and artist alley too. Like I'm not an artist, but I've just seeing that stuff, and like, and I'm a big art fan, so like I love
Mhm.
buying stuff like that, which is kind of like a double-edged sword too, because I don't have enough wall space for all the stuff I bought. So I'm just like every frame I get, like all my frames, I'm just like switching all the prints like every once in a while, just like to change it up. Might as well just get like a digital frame, but it's just I really respect the hustle, man, that artists do.
Yeah.
Like you're just biting the bullet pretty much every time you go
Mhm.
to a show, because like some conventions you'd assume that they'd be good and you sell well, and then sometimes you don't.
Right.
The one convention I went to earlier this year, like everyone's like, yo, there's like a lot of good voice actors here, there's gonna have a
Mhm.
big draw, but like no one went to Artist Alley. Everyone went to like
Oh, yeah.
everyone went to like the other events and then met the voice actors and then left. So
Yeah.
I think that's what sucks too.
Yeah. You can never really gauge how a show's gonna be, man. You just gotta try and find out, man. And sometimes, like I said, again, don't give up. You're gonna have a year where it's bad,
Yeah.
and then next year you come back, all of a sudden you sell like crazy. It's gonna happen. It happened to me, and so yeah, you just never know.
Well, I think it's still happening too now. I think you're pretty on
Yeah.
fire, and I think you're gonna start. I think you're gonna start 2023 strong, dude. Like, I think
hope so.
after we spoke the first time earlier this year, and then you shared like that your list of cons you're going to. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this shit's legit, man. Like you know what you're doing, man. Like it's not like you're waiting for like the next every other week to like, oh man, I hope I get accepted. You're like, oh, I'm going here, I'm
Right.
going here, I'm going here. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, that's like a lot of determination right there, man. Just to book all those cons.
Yeah, you
I mean,
have to, man. Yeah.
is there any that I guess that you haven't gone to that you want to go to?
Yes, I've been trying for since 2017. I've been trying to go to C2E2 in Chicago, and man, it's just some of this convention is just so hard. Like Comic Con San Diego too. Man, like I've never made it. I never got accepted, and I've applied since I started, and it's just insane, But I keep applying, and so hopefully I make it one day, at least one time. So I won't give up, I want to try one of these conventions. San Diego Comic Con, C2E2 for sure. These two are the top two I want to do. Yeah. Oh, and Anime Expo. Anime Expo is
yeah,
the number one. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I
Mhm.
forgot if you were like if you already got a spot for Expo or if you were waiting for one.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
so
dude,
tough
like,
to get in, man.
I gotta say though, like the whole wait thing with Expo,
Mhm.
I think that's what makes it tough. Because I
Mhm.
from if I'm right, I know they go back to the ones that do come, and then like if they don't want to go, then they shift to the following people, like kind of like a runner up
Yeah.
type thing. But
It's like for the new artist who wants to go for the first time, because
yeah,
if you've been at that show before, you do get some priority, and so it kind of sucks. So because you kind of know that maybe half of them have been there at least 2 years,
yeah.
and so it makes it tough, But it is what it is. That's how the show. That's how they run the show. So you can't really. You can be angry, but that's the way to do it. So there's nothing you can do, Just hopefully you get lucky one day.
I think you can make C2E2 though, because
Yeah.
I had another artist friend, Mikkel Overholtz.
Mhm.
She had a table at C2E2, and her stuff's good. Don't get me wrong, her stuff's good, but I think you can make it too. Like I
Yeah.
think that won't be as tough as trying to go for like San Diego. Like
Uh-huh.
my cousins that I live with, like we got our excuse me, like he got us our passes for San Diego Comic Con for next year. I'm
Nice.
excited for that.
Very
I just don't
nice.
know how I'm gonna handle that because that's 4 days of just straight con,
Yeah.
business, and like just I don't even think 4 days is
Yeah.
enough to go to San Diego, like to see and to like look at everything you want to at that
Yeah.
convention. So I'm excited to go to that. I'm just gonna go as a fan. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
like think of podcasting or whatever. So I think I'm pretty much set for cons. I think
Yeah.
I think with San Diego coming up for me, I think I'm pretty like conned out. I think this year for me, like just going to so many, from KamehaCon to A-Con to Fan Expo Dallas to Fan Festival Dallas to Nishi Fest to I think one or two other smaller local ones, and then I'm going to one in 2 weeks too, Dallas Comic
Nice.
Show. Just going to all these cons. I think like this is the most I've gone to conventions this
a
year
convention. Yeah.
as like a guest, or not a guest, but as press and as a just a consumer. This is the most I've done like cons wise. So I'm so like burnt out of just like going to conventions now. So I think next year I'm just gonna go to San Diego and that's it. Maybe A-Con and like some of the other anime ones, but like I'm not gonna be pushing as hard. I mean, do you feel that way too? I know being an exhibitor is different, but like going to so many, like do you ever feel like just burnt out from going to so many of them?
I feel just the same as you, because after a while it's they all have the same routine, they all have the special room for talk, and then the vendor hall, and then the celebrity area. It's all the same routine in a way, a different schedule, but after a while you just get burnt out. Like for me, I just go through my artist alley schedule. I just show up in the morning, reset my table, and sit there and wait and talk to people, and that's it. But you get so burned out. I get so tired of it too, but it is what it is, and I don't dislike it. I actually enjoy it, but it's just that when you do too much of that too, it's just your body is just it's exhausted.
Yeah, no, yeah, like people don't
You-
realize how exhausting conventions
It
are.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
me and my cousin, when excuse me, when we went to Fan Festival Dallas, which is like the fall version of Fan Expo, that's where we met Matt Smith, the actor for Damon from House of the Dragon. We only went for one day. Okay, like we went the weekend, but like the one day we went on the Saturday we went. I have never felt so exhausted on a Saturday going to a con. Like
Yeah.
it was tough going to like that following Sunday, but like that Saturday, like we went from the morning all the way to the show, all the way up to where the show ended, and like just within like those, I guess like 7 to 8 hours, I've never felt so exhausted ever at a con where I was just like, damn, and like we didn't even do much. Like we walked around and we looked at vendors and toys and
Yeah.
we waited in line, and then like next when we were done with our photo ops, we're just like we were beat. I was like, we didn't do anything. Like I was just so exhausted. I'm like, this is the worst I've ever felt. Like not saying the con wasn't bad, but me as just attending, I was just like, I've never felt this tired at a con before.
Yeah. Convention, man, they get you tired, man. They'll get you no matter what you do.
Yeah. And the thing was that I say this because like it's just funny because the con that fan festival was a lot smaller than fan expo. Like like a lot of the fan festival folks there were only there to see the Game of Thrones actor, and then once he left, because he was only there for one day, so once he left that Sunday
it was dead.
It was dead. Like it was damn near dead. But it was just the energy was just different. Like you could. At least on that Sunday, you could walk around freely and not feel like bombarded. But that Saturday, dude, like, oh my gosh, man, like it was all that just for one actor, and it was, I mean, it was a big deal though because like I love Fan Festival and Fan Expo, and the fact that they were able to get him to that show, it was just such a crazy experience seeing like how they had to update all their Instagram and socials. Like, all right, Matt Smithson, he's at DFW, okay, he's at his hotel. You'll see him on Saturday. Here's his schedule. Like folks are waiting on this dude. And it's just crazy to see how like one celebrity or like one guest can just draw in that many like attendees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes that's how it is, man. Like for example, at Twin Cities Con, people went there for Elijah Wood. He was the top actor over there, man. When I tell you I saw the line, everybody was there for him, man, on the whole weekend, man. So yeah, man, like depending on who the convention get, that's who's gonna bring the crowd, man. Yeah, it is. That's how it is.
Meeting Elijah Wood for me, like that was very quick. I only got the photo op with him, but like
really nice.
I only got the photo op with him, but then I saw his autograph line. And I was just like, dude, you're spending your whole day there. There's unless you have like VIPs or something, you're spending your whole day at waiting in that line. And it's like I've said, it's really just crazy seeing like these conventions when they do bring in a big name guest, like how you really see the fandom like just come out of the woodwork. You're just like, oh my god, it's Frodo. We have to meet Frodo. But and speaking of that, like the one I'm going to in 2 weeks, the Dallas comic comic show, Chuck Norris is going to be there. So
no way,
dude! You're
gonna go see him, man.
I have to. I already bought my pass, but like I have to meet him. But then like I'm just like, it's that convention is not a big one. It's a very small one. So like for them to have him there, I can only imagine how crazy it could be if there was like 300 to 400 people, maybe more, just waiting in line in a small area. For Chuck Norris, so like I just can't like that's just gonna be crazy, all that just for him. And I like how when you met Simu Liu, they're just like it's gonna be very quick. You're just like, all right, take your photo, done. Take your photo, done. And just like it's like you're not gonna have time to
you're not gonna have time
and like talk to him. So it's gonna be. It's like I said, it's what it is. It's just as an attendee, it's just so crazy. Like because we've gone to so many of them. Like you see, like it's like looking at the outside end. Just like you see how they run the events. It's very similar, almost every event, and then you just kind of know the routine. So like when I see this stuff, it's just like, man, they just. It's so cool, but it's so exhausting. Like I cannot do this.
Yeah. I think it's just your mind trying to keep up with everything. I think that's what really exhausts you.
Yeah,
you're there, you're having fun, but then just your mind is always thinking. It's always like, okay, where do we go next? What do I do next? What time is it? Stuff like that. So yeah, it gets you very tired, man. Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
You gotta do a joke with him, man.
Oh,
you gotta record. You gotta do a Chuck Norris joke when you meet him.
I'm gonna try to. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that he does not like the jokes, or so much like
really?
he doesn't. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he
Okay.
does like the jokes, but maybe it's much more so of like, I guess with so many people telling you like the Chuck Norris
Yeah.
jokes, I'm pretty sure you get tired of it.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Dude, it's you know, when you go to cons, not as a vendor, right? When you just go to a con just as yourself, do you catch yourself like not, you can't like not so much enjoy it anymore because like you're so used to going it as an exhibitor, so you walk into the con with the exhibitor mindset when you're just there to have fun. Like, have you had that before?
Yeah, I've done that before. I went to Metacon because I didn't make it. I think it was last year or something, and I just went there just to see my friend, you know. And it felt weird because I was like, because you know, I get into this routine when I talk to my artist friend. I only talk for a little bit because I want to rush back to my table. So when I went there as an attendant, I was like, I gotta go, but I don't know why. You know what I mean? But I had no table. You know, I had no table. But you're always in that rush. You know, you're always in that routine in your head that, you know, hey, I gotta go back to my table. I gotta go. I can't talk too long. You know, and
you're just standing there all awkwardly, like
yeah. Sometimes it's weird, you know, because I do that unintentionally, you know, and I don't want. Hopefully, none of my friends ever saying, but hopefully they don't think that, hey, man, I think he doesn't like talking with us. It's just I'm always in that mode, you know. I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta do something, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I know exactly what you mean, man. Where goes with you?
Yeah, it's similar into that in that kind of in that viewpoint too, because like doing press, I'm so used to just when I'm in con mode, like I know what I want to do. I so in a way I have like a checklist, and so when I go into it as press, I'm like, okay, so this is who I want to meet. This is who I want to talk to. This is like, these are the artists I want to see and you know, pass out cards to. So when I'm not doing that, it's very awkward to just like talk to artists and be like, oh, I like that. And then like, you can't carry the conversation. Like I have no reason to carry this conversation when I'm not giving you a card. So like, it's just, oh, great job. You know, I like your stuff, you know, and then like, I either leave awkwardly or like just stand there and just like, oh, do you have a card that I can take? You know, like so I can leave, I can exit that conversation. Like it's so weird. It's like there were some artists that I met and that I went to. I forgot which con I went to just as an attendee, and I just stood there awkwardly. I'm like, because I was searching my pockets, like, yo, I don't have my business cards on me, so I can't just like, you know, talk to you about your art and not buy anything. So I'm like, I'll take one of your cards, and I just took it and I left.
Yeah,
that's weird. So like, yeah, I get it to some sense, but like it's just like when you're not working at a convention, it's very different now. Now that we've like experienced working at a con versus being an attendee, the mindset's totally different now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Especially because every time I am at my table too, I think the opposite. You know, when I'm at the convention on my booth, I'm like, man, I should go there and support my friend. I should go see them. But then when I do, it's like, you know, I revert the mindset, so it's crazy. You know, so yeah, you just can't help it, man. You know, but yeah.
Did you ever try for New York Comic Con or Anime NYC at all?
Yeah, I apply every year also since I started. Still haven't made it in. I was really hoping Anime New York pull me out of the waiting list, but it's okay. You know, there's always next year. A lot of this show for sure, and New York Comic Con and Anime New York City C2E2. The one thing I like is they accept a lot of artists that have their own. Like if they've been published at least once or have their own comic already, whether you're big or not, they accept those. Because that's what my friend did. He just started doing it like 2 years ago. He's a writer and he got accepted already because he's just there promoting his own book. So it's one thing that I really like. That's why I really want to like. I really hope to do some work with someone, you know, and actually get published. That way I can put it on my resume. You know, hey, you know, I've done this. Maybe it'll look better for convention like that, you know, and maybe they'll accept me, you know. But it's one thing that's good about these shows. But yeah, hopefully I make it to New York City.
Speaking on that, I think you shared that not too long ago. You did a cover, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same
friend? That was my first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my first one. Yeah. So I was very excited to do that for him. He actually asked me to do that early this year, but I was traveling, so finally got to relax and worked on his cover. And
Hold on, I'm
yeah,
gonna pull it up on
yeah,
Instagram real quick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Please
because
do.
yeah, I saw that, and that's just really cool to see. Like that's
Mhm.
why like earlier when we were talking about like comic book covers, like I saw that Savage. That's what it's called, Legend of
Yeah,
the Blue
Savage.
Raven. So
Correct.
you can see that
Yeah,
right there. You can follow
yeah. It's coming
Victor's
out next
Instagram.
year. Yep. So check it out, Savage, the Legend of the Blue Raven. It was super cool. I was very excited. Uh, yeah, because he already had 2 volume published, and the third one's coming out next year. So I felt very honored that he asked me, and so yeah, it's fun. So hopefully, publishers out there will look at my cover art and be like, hey, this guy's good, and maybe they'll call me. I don't know, something. We'll see.
Maybe I'll hope for the best. Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
cover looks great though. It makes me think of like Baki, like a fighting
yeah.
anime.
He liked my Blood Angel, and he wanted something like that, but covered in blood, and with his character and just all muscular. So I'm like, yeah, I got you, I can do that. So that's why it made it look like that. Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I like that it's like not too standoutish too, right? It doesn't like
yeah,
it's not like there's not too much distraction from just the character. It's just right
uh-huh.
there. Then you see like the blood all over him. And then that's
Yep,
very it's simple, but then like
simple.
it stands out still.
Yeah, simple focus. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But speaking about like working with other people too, like
Mhm.
you did the artwork for Tina Go,
That's right. Yes.
the cellist, right? She
Yeah,
writes the cello. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah,
cello. Yeah, yes.
yeah. She did the theme for Wonder Woman. Like
Yes.
I think we've talked about this. I don't know if we talked about this on the last episode, but for
Mhm.
those that don't know, because this opportunity is like a really cool one, because of that I sent an email to her, but I doubt she's on vacation. I know she's on vacation with her
Uh-huh.
husband or something, but I doubt she'd see it. But because of
Yeah.
this, like from what you showed me, I sent an email to her. So I'm like, and then like earlier today, I asked you for the digital copy so I can like put it in the thumbnail. But I want you to tell folks like how you got into
Yes.
like how you got into doing this commission for her.
Mhm. Actually, it's a very cool story because she didn't contact me directly. It was a friend of hers who's known her for a long time, and he's a bodybuilder, and he's a big fan of my art, and from the Snyderverse. So he reached out to me, and he's like, "Hey, I want to do a piece for Tina Go, who's my friend," and so I was like, "Man, this is amazing," and I saw it as an amazing opportunity, and I love Tina too. I watched her YouTube before, and I've been following her too. So I thought, man, it's amazing. So he asked me to draw her, and it was for I forgot which occasion it was, because it was to send it to her as a gift. Um, it wasn't for her birthday, if I remember. It was for something else, but it was gifted to her, and she had it for a while before we shared it publicly, on social media, because we wanted to make sure that she was the first one to share it. So once she did, then we started sharing it, and but yeah, so I got this opportunity through one of her friends, and she reached out to me earlier this year too, because she really loved what I did, and she wanted to use that for her online store, and she's been working on it with her team, to maybe use it. I don't know if she's gonna use it, but she reached out. She reached out to me so I can make a different size of that, art. Edit it for her the way she wants, so they can use it. So I haven't seen anything with it yet, but hopefully they decide to use it.
Dude, that'd be
But
so
it's just
fucking
super
cool.
cool. Oh,
Dude,
yeah, it's super cool.
that'd be so epic. Like if she uses
Yeah.
it for like an album cover or something. Like that's
Yeah.
your art design. Like that'd be
Yeah.
so cool. Like that's all like seeing that, dude. Like it motivated me so much. I was like, man, like that is like, because like I followed her for quite a bit too. Like maybe a little bit before the whole Wonder Woman thing, but like I followed her for a little bit. But when you reached out, when you told me like, yo, like I just did this for Tina Go, like
Yeah.
yo, that is like these kind of opportunities, like again, especially for artists, like people don't realize like you may not be like out there like a musician or like an actor, but the things that you do, like just planting these seeds with your art, like it pays off at the end, because like when someone big does see that, and then they want it, like like dude, like just the whole thing with the Zack Snyder thing, man. Like when they look at the Snyder cut, they see your artwork, like, that's yours, like that's your artwork. And so like when I just think that's really, it's just really badass to see, like, man, like you're getting these opportunities that I like seeing like
Mhm.
especially Hmong people have. You know, like man, these are the steps that we need to take. Not just like go viral for like a week and then go away. Like
Right.
like you're building like
Exactly.
building
Yeah.
blocks to your
Mhm.
to your social media and to your fandom, dude.
Right. Yeah.
But
That's it's amazing, man. That's why you never know what can happen. So I keep doing little things like that, and things happen, man. So yeah, it's amazing when it happens.
you should definitely try drawing. Like I know she does, like she has like other friends who do like the
Mhm.
violin and stuff like that, or like
Yeah.
play guitar. You should definitely like mess around with that
Yeah.
and just like see if they
Actually, I was gonna draw a piece of them, all four of them together, but I have so many projects, and I gotta finish the Smash Bros first, you know.
right. Yeah,
But I
Smash
want to
Brothers
draw
comes
them.
first.
Yeah,
That
I
one
want to
comes
draw
first.
them all together and send it to all four of them. Her
Oh
and her
man,
friends.
that'd be
That would be
so cool.
amazing.
Like a
Yeah,
collage,
yeah.
you know, and then like
Yeah,
if they let
collage,
you
you know.
sell it, if they let
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sell it at cons, you could just like you can get like
Yeah.
each individual or like get the whole big piece. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. I would even send them a pack, you know, like just on me, you know. I'll send them 100 printers for them to use, you know, when they meet people, you know. I would even do that. I wouldn't even care. It was like, hey, man,
Right.
it's for you. I'm a fan, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't care, you know. But yeah, things like that, you know. Yeah.
But, you know, Victor, as we come to an end here, man, I enjoy talking to you a lot, man. I cannot wait to see what else you have in store for
Mhm.
2023, especially, man. I think just speaking with you again, like it really just keeps my motivational fire going.
Yeah.
People don't know, man. Like it's very hard being a creative out here, and it's tough especially when you're by yourself. People don't really see how hard that is, and speaking with you who do this, who pretty much does this by themselves, it's really inspiring, bro. Like I really appreciate the hustle that you've done, especially this year. All these things that are coming to you, man. You worked so hard for it, and I'm very happy to be a part of that journey with you, just to share your stories and to geek out with you and to talk
Yeah.
about this stuff with you, man.
Thanks, man. Same here. You know, I really enjoy that because I feel like as creator, we have to stay around people that have that same energy. Otherwise, you lose that motivation, man, so quick. And it helps me to talk with you, you know, because I like the stuff that you do. I like what you like. You know, your when you share your story sometime, like when you
Yeah.
go see Blackpink, you know, I like that because you know it's cool. You know, it keeps a positive energy around me, so I can keep going. And we gotta keep motivating each other no matter what we choose as creator, because you know that's we need that energy to create.
Yeah.
So that's it. You know.
Yeah. No, I try to be somewhat entertaining or comedic on social media, because like there's just there's just so much like bad shit going on these days, and
Yeah.
like especially with like Twitter and all that,
Yeah.
like all this political shit. Like I try not to like dwell on that. So like when you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I'm always sharing the dumbest shit, or
Yeah.
like just stuff to make you laugh, because like it's
Yeah.
it's really no point to like just focus on all these negative things when you could just
Mhm.
really work on positive things and share that instead.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, and that's why I like your content. And it's I don't like to get involved in those things, so I just keep posting stuff that I like only, and positive
Exactly.
stuff.
And
so,
then
yeah.
and honestly, I think that's why I
That's it.
fuck with you the most, man. Because like it's just we have like the same mindset. Just like
Yeah.
all this negative shit is so stupid, man. Just
Yeah,
you
it's
just share
dope.
all the funny and good things and just keep
Yeah.
it going, keep it pushing. But dude,
That's right.
I'm very glad to see that you're doing well, man. I hope you enjoy your break that you have, dude. Like you deserve it. You've been
Thanks, man.
grinding all summer and all fall. So definitely, dude. Like I can't wait to talk to you
Yeah.
again and have you on the show and see what it's like for you in the next couple of months. But
Absolutely.
yeah, dude, like I'm very glad. Do you have anything else you wanted to say before we end this?
No. That's it. Yeah, I think follow Ricky, guys. Awesome podcast. Great guy, and yeah, hopefully we'll do this again.
Yeah, again,
Yeah.
follow Victor. I'll have all his links and social media links in the show notes and all that. Go check out his artwork, share it, like it. His stuff is good. Definitely tune in when he does drop that Smash Brothers collage, because that's gonna be the big one. That's the one I'm waiting for. But
Yes.
definitely.
Yes. Look out for
But
it.
yeah, man. This is just the end episode 136 of Spoiler Force Podcast. Again, thank you guys for watching and or listening. Thank you for being patient with me as I go through my shit in the past 2 months here. So I am getting back on this podcast stuff again. I will be trying to job more consistently again, but it's a great way to start with Victor. So thank you again, Victor, for being on the show. Again, this is Spoiler Force Podcast. Thank you guys so much and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.